after all of the, quite frankly, unhinged and crazy unscripted videos I've been doing where I just kind of go off on wild tangents and don't really take myself seriously, I thought I would do a video that's kind of a bit more personal, maybe just like a little bit more serious and talking a little bit more about what fanfiction means to me. Because for a very long part of my life, about a 6-month period at the end of 2020, it was a very regular source of escapism for me. And the reason why this was is there was a lot of stressful experiences in my life because last year of high school was shit. But the biggest experience was being an overworked, underappreciated debate coach at my high school. And I was the first student coach to ever come out of that school, and I know there's some value in being a trailblazer, but I am not ever going to be the first one to do anything ever again because all of the growing pains will just get shifted right onto you, and that's fucking sucky. Never doing that again. And yeah, I'm just going to talk a bit about that experience because I haven't told anyone about it, and I've cut out enough of the salient details that it's probably not going to identify me in any real meaningful way. If you want to skip ahead to the part where I talk about just the fan fiction, if you don't want to hear my rambling, go to here. It was a very distressing experience for me, like, extremely so. Looking back, it does seem kind of stupid, but, you know, I was young, I was a kid at the time, I was still in high school, and it was a very conservative school by New Zealand standards, and I was, not worldly, like, at all. I'd never kissed a girl, I'd never smoked, I'd never really gotten drunk, I wasn't ever invited to parties, because I wasn't cool enough for that. I was the picture perfect studious chick who like never got in trouble and was a bit too innocent to be fun. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, that's just what others kept telling me at the time. Anyway, up until this point, I had a very naive view of doing work for other people, and how could I have not, right? I was in a nice school, in a nice environment, with good friends, and basically I was raised on the idea that if you work hard for someone, no matter what, people are going to appreciate that. Whoever you did the work for is going to appreciate that. And of course, I'd never had a job or anything where I was doing extended responsibilities for someone, so there's a crack against me there. And the reason why I had this very naive view was also because I had two skills that I would often farm out to people. There was fan fiction and painting. I was a painter during that time. And occasionally I'd write fic or make paintings for people just as gifts, just for no other reason other than I loved them as people and wanted to appreciate them. And when I gave these things out, like, I never received anything less than like wholehearted gratitude, as I should have, because it was a lot of time out of the goodness of my heart, as you can imagine. So I went into this debate team thing thinking everyone was going to be very appreciative of my effort and my work ethic because I didn't have to do it, but I did. Yeah, how fucking wrong I was about that. I'm not going to go into detail about it purely because A, it might be identifiable to me later, and B, I don't want to talk about it too much. Basically, I was overworked, underappreciated, taken for granted. My team didn't respect me. Looking back, I don't blame them, considering I was like maybe 3 years older than the oldest one. I was 17 at the time, and they didn't respect the whole commitment they had to the team. Very bad of them. And my teacher, the debate teacher who was overseeing all the shit, was very, very dismissive. Like, you have to keep trying, you have to try and get them to the next debate, even though it was like herding cats. Holy fuck, this is still making me angry. It's been nearly a year. One other big important detail. I am a avid journaler, like, for very many years of my life. Like, I would write long entries about what I did on any given day, and what I thought about what I did on any given day, and the people I met, and what I thought about the people I met. Yeah, you get the idea. Since about age 11, I've been journaling, and I still have all of those diaries. There's many of them. I'm never getting rid of them. And I still read them occasionally because they're kind of funny, but I always skip over this one entry that I wrote when I was having, looking back, I think it was a breakdown of some sort, and, you know, looking back, it's a bit funny that I was in extreme distress, and my first thought was to crack out the notebook and write while I was freaking out, but, like, I can't read it again, because it's too raw, like, it's too obvious the pain I was in, and it's too much. I just can't reread it again. And the worst part is that I never told anyone what was going on with this responsibility that was really shit, because My best friend was a debater too at the time, he's a year younger than me, and I was giving him updates on the situation because he knew what was going on, but I was also heavily downplaying it, like I wasn't having very strong thoughts of suicide about how bad the situation was. And shortly after that, I decided I couldn't take it anymore, and I did something which to the younger me would have been absolutely unthinkable until then. I went behind everyone's back and slyly dropped the team out of the competition, but I lied that we were kicked out, like it was a situation out of my control. I'm still kind of not proud of that, but like, I was at breaking point and my team didn't care, so that was the end of my responsibility. And even worse, as if all of that wasn't bad enough, I emailed the same teacher a while later, maybe in March of the next year, like definitely not long enough for him to forget who I was. And I was like, oh, hey, bro, I know it didn't really go well last time, but can I maybe have like a really quick written reference just so that, like, I can prove that I was a debate coach? And he never replied to me. I know he got that message. I know he did because I emailed other teachers for different reasons and they all got theirs. So I'm pretty sure he's just ignoring me, and I will die mad about it. I know he's never going to probably see this, but I still suffer a lot of resentment for how I was treated. I think he can go fuck himself. And like looking back, because I'm older and I do cool stuff now, I'm a cool adult and I'm better at dealing with these kind of situations, or at least seeing them for what they are before I get into them. It seemed kind of a bit silly to be so angry and aggrieved about it, but then there was a lot of other stuff going on in my life. Like there was lockdowns, I was close contacted through someone in my school. That was not a fun experience. And like honestly, it was just really stressful the last year of high school for many reasons that are too numerous to explain. Um, but yeah, if you talk to anyone from my high school, they'll tell you all the same thing. And yeah, it just kind of like, yeah, it's probably a silly thing to be mad about, but I'm still going to be mad about it because we're still shit. So the point of this video was about fanfiction as escapism, right? I promise I'm getting to that point. And basically, during this whole experience, it was about 2 or 3 months of, torture. I was really heavily into my fan fiction. Like, I was kind of using it as a way to not have to focus on the problems in my life. If I think about it, looking back at my old fics from that period of time, I'd only just started planning the Mel Audrey long fic, the really long one, and so I was kind of focusing a lot on that and not anything else in my life because fan fiction was something that I was good at. People respected me, people liked my work. I mean, why am I talking in the past tense? They still do. And it was a nice place to go because in my personal life, at least at school, I did not feel respected or validated very much, if at all. And nowadays my life is better. Like once I graduated high school and went to university, everything cleared up because holy shit, high school is terrible and uni is so much better, even if you're in a hard degree with people that you don't really like. I mean, now it's not really so much escapism for me, I just do it because I'm obsessed with it, and frankly, after the second season, they did so much shit in Snowpiercer that we had to fix it, everything that they did, but it was kind of funny looking back and realising that kind of habit that you form. I look back on my own life and I'm like, there's a reason why I was so obsessed with Snowpiercer during what could have been considered as a lull in the fandom, just like the one we're experiencing now between the lack of promos and the next season coming quite far away. There was nothing really going on, but I was still throwing myself headfirst into it, and I was also trying to build up my reputation in the fandom, so there was that as well. Fan fiction is kind of like a nice place to escape more than typical fiction books or any kind of entertainment because it's media that you're very well acquainted with it, and it's situations that you can find comfort in how the same everything is. You're writing the same characters in the same context, doing emotional hurt comfort very often. And it sort of, you get the community as well, which I think I was kind of lacking You know, I had the people that liked me and liked my work and thought I was doing a good job, which wasn't something that I had in my own personal life at the time. I do now, but back then I didn't because, going to a conservative high school, saying that you like writing fan fiction about an obscure sci-fi show about a train is not that great. It's not going to get you many friends. I just kind of kept it on the down low. And coming back to the community thing, I would come back to like the Snowpiercer side of things after having spent the whole day at school, which I didn't really enjoy. And you know, people here are so much more chill than they are in the outside world. I guess like if you're doing fan fiction for free, nothing really has any sort of consequence or any real urgency attached to it. Like at my school at the time, we were trying to get into university, so everyone was always hustling and trying to be better than everyone else and being like, oh, what degree are you applying for? What uni are you going to? And then one girl decided to go to uni in America, which really kicked everyone else off. Really funny. But it just kind of like coming back to this, it was a much more chill kind of community. And that's what I like about Snowpiercer, is that occasionally there's like a little bit of drama, like very occasionally. I wouldn't know. I don't really take part in any of that. But other than that, at least on Tumblr, it's very chill. It's very nice to sort of be here and just gab about the characters that we like and make fun of them like we always do. And then, fanfiction kind of provided me with a purpose that was bigger than myself. I had the debate team, but I was literally just shepherding about a bunch of junior boys. Like, it wasn't really, they were all boys, by the way. The team was all boys, and I was like one girl. I should have known it was going to be a shit show right from the beginning. But like writing fanfiction for other people, I was giving things to other people all over the world. Like, I have friends from all over the world, and I'm like, wow, there are people who are thousands of kilometers away writing my stuff and thinking that and liking my stuff. And then, of course, making the fan fiction into books. That was also a really big thing for me because it was something tangible I could work towards. And that really helped because in my last year of high school, I didn't really have anything tangible to work towards, and I didn't really have anything at all to sort of have as a goal. And now with the fan fiction, I can say, oh, well, I'll do this ship or this Fictober or this book. Like, it's a lot easier, and it gives you that drive more than just doing some random thing with a debate team in high school. And now, having had that experience and knowing what's going on and like knowing that I never have to do something like that again if I don't want to, knowing the signs to see before I jump into a really bad situation like that, it kind of gives you a bigger appreciation for the things that got you through that time, like fanfiction. Like, it's always going to be close to my heart, by the way. This is not me saying that I'm going to stop writing fanfiction. I'm just saying, like, I appreciate it. I appreciate y'all. But isn't it kind of funny? Because I'm a debate kid, technically. Not even technically. I did it for 3 years. And that's why I like making these videos. I like telling people my opinions and trying to convince them to think the same way as I do. No, I'm just kidding. You can have whatever opinions you like. I don't care. But, it's funny how parts of your life bleed onto other parts of your life, like this one. Anyway, if you stuck around to the end, thank you for listening. It's kind of a weird video for me. I probably won't do one that's like this again, but it was kind of nice to try out. And I guess that would be all. Thank you for your time.